Say hey, everyone. Welcome into another edition of Say Hey Plays. My name is Jose Bouquett. Alongside me for the first time, actually. And shockingly, I should have overdue. I'm going to say this. Should have happened earlier. Moose Money Bets, a.k.a. Moosey. Moose Money, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm gonna immediately put a stop to the Moosey. So
You don't like Moosey?
I'm gonna shut that down pretty quickly. I
Not
gotta
about Moose
have.
Dog? Moose
Look.
John?
I have so many feminine tendencies, with
Mm,
like candles and baths and all that kind of stuff. I don't need to add
bath
on to
guy.
all that kind of stuff.
You like bath?
Occasionally. I mean, it's a shower all the time, most of the time. But I don't need to go in down the list of all the things
Do
that
you take some bath bombs in there?
there have been bath bombs.
Mm,
I'm not going to lie. There have been bath bombs. There's also
nice.
been, maybe one or two couple baths. With somebody that's able to lather me up a little bit. So
Mm.
yeah. But feeling okay today. Feeling okay. Feeling great after last night. But
Yeah, how was
the
last night?
mind. Oh man, that was so much fun. Indiana ended up winning. That ended up cashing my money line bet. I
Good
think
game, huh?
it was a great game. It was one of those games you kind of go, oh, all right, it's football. At least we got some good football. But it turned into a really good game. Illinois is going to be a pretty good team this year, and Indiana was sticking right there and ended up pulling it out. So I really kind of like what I saw from both sides. Two teams that moving forward in college, I'm going to try to be gutting on more often than not.
Well, that is exciting to hear, Moose Money. I'm going to sending some tweets, retweeting stuff right now to get this show going. But I'm very excited to talk to you and to whoever may be watching, because I'll tell you right now, Moose, I expect this show to be a little quieter from the chat because college football is on today.
Mm-hmm.
The college football show is going right now. And I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people were watching college football today, but baseball's still here, and this is the last weekend of Say Hey Play on the weekend, and we can see why with the chat being so quiet. So it's a lot of fun. Still doing the show with you, Moose, and we're going to break this card down. And then after, I'm going to go get obliterated in a parking lot and go watch UTSA football play a football game. It's going to be fun. What do you have planned today?
I'm hopefully going to take a nap right after this.
Okay.
I stayed up later to get the MLB card going. It was definitely an arduous task given all the circumstances that had happened earlier, but was able to commit. I told you, hey, I got you, and if I'm there, I'm giving you my best effort. I don't show up with C effort. Every time I'm here, I'm giving you the A effort, and I wanted to make sure that I was prepared, was ready. So I was able to get through the card last night and got some plays that I feel pretty good. And anybody that's going to be watching this on replay, which I believe, Jose, that's probably what's going to be more common than today than not, just because people are going to, hey, what did Jose say about the Giants Phillies game?
Yep, it's 3:05. Hey, 3:05 start time. First game on our card, and Moose Money. Let me just I kiss you right on the cheek for that fucking
I knew what I was doing
right there.
Yeah, I knew what I was doing.
Yeah, look at that. Say Hey Plays 144. Hey 144 officially underway here. 355 or 395, I should say, and 415. Only down 0.5 units. Yesterday it was kind of a middling 2-2 and 2 day. It was kind of funny that I had two pushes in there as well. So just down some juice, moving on, whatever. Ultimately, it's ain't no thing. Some heartbreaking too, and so got some lucky in some occasions as well. Shout out to your Padres as well, by the way, showing up for once.
Yeah.
Did not think that was going to happen. First game, like he mentioned, Phillies Giants, Noah Syndergaard, Jakob Eunice, little Jacob Eunice action. Thor, and I'll be honest, Thor's just never been a guy that I've been excited to bet on in the last like 3 or 4 years. And I'll be honest, he's only pitched for like one of those last 3 or 4 years. So it's not many opportunities to bet on or against him here. But I'm pretty surprised he got a minus 122 here. Jakob's not good. The Giants are hitting righties, so I kind of thought he'd be favored by more, but it's away. So I ultimately, I don't want to bet on Thor in really any occasion right now. So I passed 5 earned runs against the Pirates last time. Pitched well against the Reds, 7 innings, 1 earned run there, but not someone I want to back. If anything, I'd be taking like a team total here for the Phillies, but I am passing on this game so far. Moose, I want to hear your lovely thoughts on this game.
Yeah, I'm on the same train. I'm not a huge. I mean, I early in the season, I really did think that we were going to see a much better and much different Syndergaard. But as the season progressed, it was like, okay, this is going to be just kind of who he is. He's not going to be a guy that's just dominating start to start. We're not going to be making all of the Thor references throughout the entire game because he's just, quite frankly, not really wielding the hammer the way that he used to. Last few starts have been meh, but the real issue that I have with him is the fact that he's giving up way too many hits in his innings pitched. His whip is fine. He doesn't walk that many guys, but he's giving up just way too many hits. And if you're giving up hits, I don't really care if the Giants aren't hitting all that well versus right-handed pitching. It's still going to be a problem that you're giving hits up to the Pirates. He gave up 9 hits in 5 2/3 versus the Reds. He gave up 11 hits in 14 innings. Pitched in both games, 6 innings pitched, 6 hits against the Marlins. And you already said that Eunice is really not a great pitcher. So if there was anything I was going to do here, it was going to be a potential over, but I'm not going to try to trust any Giants to contribute to that at all.
You know, when I'm realizing, oh man, I'm such an idiot sometimes. It makes me laugh, Moose. I'm trying to unlist some of the live streams. You know, I put them in the backstage of the YouTube to keep down all of the say hey's that build up, and I kept this one private, and that's why maybe no one's watching right now. So I find that very funny. I find that to be very funny. No one's watching on YouTube, and I was like, why is I guess college football is just very popular. No one want to watch baseball today. I'm like, oh, well, you have to have your video public if you want people to watch it. So it's very funny there. Yeah. It's a funny thing that happened. So I figured that was going to happen to me at least once time this year. So there's the one time. So it's fucking funny. Yeah, Cab, there you go. You see, I finally found it. There you go. See,
I'm alive.
It's very funny how these things operate. So yeah, we've been live for 8 minutes and it's very funny. And yeah, I guess I am trying to hide Moose. I want to keep him away from the public. I just want him to be only mine, Moose money. Yeah. Let's talk about this Red Sox-Rangers game. And I don't know who's starting for the Rangers so far. I read on Mr. RotoWire that it was going to be Colby Allard, and I moved forward like that, but I have not had a line for this yet. And I'm going to do a quick little refresh here and see if I get a line. Yeah, it's still nothing. Still nothing for me. I've still got no lines for this game. What about you, Moose? Are you having a line?
I have just checked. Nope, nothing's up. But I mean, I don't have the premier sites like the Circa and the MGM and all that stuff. I'm just using all the offshore. So if it's not,
yeah, we're both on Bovada. We're both on Bovada, I believe. We're Bovada boys. There you go. Soon we're going to be Bet Online boys. Moose money.
I'm there too.
Soon we're going to be. Okay, great, fantastic. So I'm going to be a Bet Online boy. Well, thanks everyone for trickling in here. As you know, an admitted fuck up by me has led me to hide the YouTube link, and now I've published it, and we're fucking back. We're here. We're rolling. We're breaking down this card. We don't know who's pitching for the Rangers right now, and there's no line for the Rangers or for this game as well. But I was thinking about taking a Red Sox team total. The Red Sox offense has been kind of hot recently. Colby Allard, a lefty, 143 weighted runs created plus for the Red Sox. Darian Bayo's been pitching okay. So I'd take the Red Sox here, but ultimately I cannot because there's no line, and I usually lose when I'm taking the Red Sox, so I pass. Moose, any thoughts on this game before we move on?
Only issue with the Red Sox would be just their isolated power since the 15th of August. Yeah, that's the only thing that I would be like, all right, that's concerning. But I will be off this game. This game just really didn't it didn't tickle the moose hairs.
That's a good one. That's a good one. You can tell that Moose is in the education injury by his lovely vocabulary and the way he wakes up early. The two things are no giveaway. So the 2 giveaways there. Royals Tigers here. By the way, Moose, here's your fun fact of the day. I was an after school teacher for a while, for like 3 years. I was a beast. I was the best. Not a big deal. 4th grade, kindergarten. Fucking love those kindergartners. Kindergartners, it's beauty what you can do to solve kindergartners' problems. You just tell them to hold hands for 5 minutes and everything's all right.
I wish things would be that simple, be that easy with the high school students and some of the college kids that I work with, because you don't get to just tell them to hold hands without having the district get very involved in what just happened.
Yeah, I'll say that's probably true. But I do remember with the 4th graders I had, the issues were like, oh, she called me a bitch. And I was like, well, you just got to kind of bitch. That just kind of happened. You just got called a bitch. What do you want me to do? I can't.
Yeah, but in fourth grade, my goodness,
they're savages. They're savages. They never forget. Some fifth grader apparently brought weed in his backpack to school. Never forget. Never forget. Royals Tigers, next game on our card. Michael Pineda making his return from the IL, triceps injury, some rehab starts, 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs there, 4 Ks, no walks. I don't know if I can trust Michael Pineda. And admittedly, the Tigers offense has been kind of hot. 14th right now, 95 weighted runs created plus against righty. So that's, for their standards, it's okay. Royals offense not doing shit, but this is another pretty easy pass game for me here, Moose. What about you?
I did take the over, and I took the over full game, 8.5. You did mention how the Tigers are starting to hit a little bit better, and Pineda coming back off of a triceps injury didn't have outstanding success in his minor league rehab performances. So that leads me to think that why would he just come out and do well at the major league level in his major league return? No, I'm not buying it. These are going to be major league hitters for the Royals. They have absolutely been able to put up runs. They just did it last weekend versus the Padres. All those games went over, every single one of them. And I would expect that the pitching matchup is just really going to be difficult for them to just be successful. You mentioned how Pineda hasn't really, or he's coming back. He hasn't really even pitched well this year when he's been out there. 5.27 ERA, but his expected ERA is 6.10. So it's not like they're like, oh, well, he could be pitching better. The last times he was out there, he wasn't really even eclipsing 5 innings. And the Detroit bullpen has not been nearly as good as it has been in the beginning of the year. You've seen some pretty heavy regression from them. And really, it's also about Kansas City Royals bullpen just being complete dog shit. 6.32 ERA over the last month or so, and 4.3 FIP and XFIP. So that's telling me that I should reasonably expect them to continue to struggle. And Detroit bullpen, 4.55 ERA the last month, 4.05, 4.02 FIP, XFIP. So that's telling me that, hey, they're not going to be doing as nearly as well as they were beginning of the year, and they're super prone to giving up any kind of runs that might be needed for an over here. So I did jump on the over 8.5 full game. I don't feel comfortable taking the first 5, but I really did want to get the bullpens involved for the full game over, and that's what I played.
Beautiful. Thank you for that lovely breakdown. This is why you're here, Moose. You're such a professional. That's great. I love your shirts.
You know who it is? Do you know who it is?
No.
It's the Beast from Sandlot.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a reference to an actual person, not just a dog. I do hate your background, though. I do not like Magic Johnson. I will admit that.
So. It is autographed. Does that help at all?
No.
Oh, all right. Well, sorry. I tried.
It does not. It does not. Next up, Yankees Rays, and this leads me to my first play here. I broke these games down early in the AM last night. There was no first 5, et cetera, lines. So I was just like, all right, well, I'll just write down all the plays that I'll have and check back in the morning to see what their lines are. This was actually the only play that I could lock in. And this is something I don't do often. I'm going to eat the juice here. Call me Peter Loshak. Hold on. Let's eat the juice. Oh, yeah. Uh-oh. Huh? I'm going to eat the juice, and I'm going to take Tampa Bay Rays money line minus 130 here. The Yankees are a joke, and it's very funny to see Clark Schmidt on the bump to try to stop this losing streak, this skid. And don't look now, Moose. I don't want to say this. I want to look this up before I say this because I don't want to say it, Moose. It pains me to say this. The Tampa Bay Rays are only 5 games back of the New York Yankees. It'd be a real shame. It would be a real shame if the Tampa Bay Rays swept the Yankees here. It'd be a real shame. So I'm taking the Rays here, minus 130 on a money line. Something I don't do often, laying this high juice. My line is usually minus 125, but I just think the Tampa Bay Rays win this ball game. Corey Kluber. Let me see. You know what? I'm going to look up Corey Kluber's stats against the Yankees for career real quick. But while I do that, I will say the Rays against righties in the last 3 weeks, hot. Second in the best in the league, 135 weighted runs created plus, while the New York Yankees are second last, 55 weighted runs created plus against righties this last 3 weeks. So it's a pretty shocking split you can see there. Apparently, the only success they've been having is against lefties. And for Corey Kluber, against the New York Yankees. I do not want the Cubs. I want the Yankees, please. He's 5-3 with a 2.27 ERA. This year, he's 0-1 with a 1.5 ERA in 3 starts, 18 innings pitched, 5 runs, only 3 of them earned. A little 16 Ks to 2 walks, so it's pretty good. We'll take that all the time. So Corey Kluber and the Rays for me today here. What about you, Moose?
Yeah, I'm going to be off of this, and the big reason why is just Kluber has been giving up the home run ball just way too much. I mean, just giving up 1 a game is pretty bad, and he's been giving up 3, and then you see the ones that he's been giving up. I think he's given up a home run every game this month. Yeah, he has. Kluber has given up a home run in every single one of his appearances this month, and I get the Yankees are absolutely struggling, but the one thing that they are fully capable of is hitting the home run, and it's just a matter of how many guys are on when that happens. I kind of wanted to find a way to get on the Rays, but one of the things I'm doing is the month of July and August was just brutal on my sides. I mean, totals were not great, but that's one of the angles that I've been doing better at, and that's just something I'm trying to lock in. And on the side, I kind of go, okay, I'd play this if I wanted to play the sides, and I'm really trying to lock in on totals as we kind of go down the stretch, because I think it's better to have a specific approach and a specific focus as teams are kind of calling up minor leaguers to test them out. The veterans are just getting their innings because they're eating up. So there's a lot of things in play that can be very difficult to assess and understand what's going on. So if I'm eliminating a whole side and just trying to focus on totals, I would definitely absolutely lead to an over here. But it's the Yankees. You just mentioned how horrific they've been versus right-handed pitching. Their slug is I just had it here. Their slug is 309. Is it 309? Yeah, 309 over the last 15 games, 20 games. And that's something you're not accustomed to seeing from the Yankees at all. I don't know how much of a correction there is. I hope there's not. I have a Yankees futures bet that they don't make the playoffs.
Get the fuck. Oh, they don't make the playoffs.
Yeah, don't make the playoffs, and that they have under win total. Yeah, I did take I thought the Yankees were going to struggle. I didn't think that team was put together in a way that would be conducive for a good sustained run.
You scared
me. I was a big New York hater. I did that with the Mets too. So, but I feel better about my Yankee bet than I do the Mets, because they just continue to kind of play good baseball. At least I'm seeing what I initially thought I would see beginning of the year. I'm off of this, but I would lean over. But no, I'm not trying to do anything if I have to involve the Yankees offense right now, which is just one of the worst offenses in baseball right now.
Oh, Moose, it's very funny to watch this Yankees collapse. I also have the under win total for them, and I also have them not to make the playoffs. I wrote those off as losses.
Yeah, I did too. But now I'm like, okay, let's see what happens.
It's hilarious. All right, let's move on from this game. I'm on the Tampa Bay Rays. You are liking an over, not on a side here. Damon Santori joining us. What's up, my man? Thanks for watching. Odorizzi scratch for Atlanta. I saw that. I was very sad because I capped Odorizzi. We'll talk about Bryce Elder later. Shout out to Peavy.
Peavy, yeah, that's my boy.
Peavy.
That's my boy.
Bo Jackson as well. Blue Jays and Yankees could meet each other in the playoffs. Bo Jackson, that is what I'm hoping for. I'm really fucking hoping for a Blue Jays-Yankees first-round playoff matchup, and the Blue Jays will just beat the fuck out of them. Beat them down. That's what I would be hoping for.
I'd be down for that.
And Dav Fan as well, shouting out the Colby Allard. He's pitching -143 for the Red Sox. Thank you, Dav Fan. We'll come back to that game probably at the end of it. All right, let's move on here. I've got a little Trevor Richards action for the Toronto Blue Jays today. I thought it was going to be Kikuchi last night, but no, Trevor Richards starts for them against Roansy Contreras and the Pirates here. I'm passing. Nothing for this game. Nothing I want to do with this game, ultimately. Trevor Richards, big unknown. I probably lean towards the Pirates team total, honestly, because let's see how long Trevor Richards is going to pitch. Moose, I don't know if you know off the top of your head how many innings Trevor Richards is going to pitch here today, or if he's gone a long inning, because like I said, I capped Kikuchi, and I read, and I was like, oh, great, it's fucking Trevor Richards. Yeah, it's only one inning.
He's not going more than 1 inning. It's 1 2/3 is the most he's pitched, and that was in July. Yeah, that was earlier in July. So, yeah, he's not going to go very far.
So we're thinking it's probably Trevor Richards and maybe Kikuchi after? I don't know. So it's a bullpen day is the point for the Blue Jays, and the Blue Jays bullpen is scary to a lot of people. I think it's better, but these bullpen days I do not think are made for a Toronto Blue Jays squad. So I would be leaning towards the Pirates team total here, but I have not played anything official. What about you here, Moose?
Yeah, I like that look, and in fact, I'm actually kind of looking up what Pittsburgh's been doing. Not great versus lefties. So if Kikuchi does get in there, but still, it's Kikuchi. So you could have the worst numbers in baseball, and if Kikuchi's out there, you can still drop a 20 spot. Versus right-handed pitching, it's not a lot better. Minus 12 weighted runs above average, which is something I've kind of been looking at. Because that's one of the things that went into my focus on totals is I start kind of locking in on certain stats that I find a little bit more useful. And weighted runs above average has been one of the stats that has served well in terms of the overall capping. It's not just like one thing that I'm going to look at, but the totality of everything that I'm trying to put together. And the fact that they're just double digits weighted runs above average, that's not really a great sign for me. So I'm going to be off of that, but I do like where you're going. And I also really like how people in baseball are able to get on things and angles and trends. And your angle and trend on the Pittsburgh Pirate team totals is just absolutely awesome. I think a lot of people that have watched Say Hey have jumped on that and been profitable. But this is not a situation I'm trying to do that. So I will be off of this game. I would like to see the team total over, but I'm not going to play it. That scares me a little bit too much with how poor the Pirates have been hitting and what they might be doing, trying to get looks to certain prospects and sitting guys and making sure players are rested so they don't get injured, because you'd hate to lose O'Neal Cruz, Brian Reynolds, or anything like that, because that would just destroy whatever future you're trying to build there.
Yeah, exactly. Shout out Real Deal Prime for joining us as well. Richards' movement is bad, period. Yeah, I don't think Richards is very good, He's just a reliever at the end of the day. So I wouldn't hate a Pirates first five as well if you're looking at it. It'd be Pirates or nothing for me at the end of the day. But it seems like let's keep it moving on here, Moose, because I'll be honest, I feel a tickle in the back of my neck.
Mm-hmm.
It's the beers waiting for me in the parking lot.
Mm-hmm. You need to quench your thirst there.
Yeah, and Cab's already saying "Go Cougars" in the chat.
Yeah, I'm with him. I'm on that bet too. So unfortunately, but I'll keep it civil here. I'll keep it civil. Yeah, I took it first half and full game. So
fuck you, Moose. What?
I mean,
fuck. Why are you throwing away your money like that, Moose? Now I'm gonna add you to my list of aggro messages I'm gonna send when I'm drunk and UTSA is up. I hope you realize that now.
I'm not sure if you understand how much of a veteran and seasoned gift war soldier I am. So bring it on.
Okay. All right. It's me against the world. And by the way, that's the last leg of Friends and Family, exactly as I planned it, by the way. I gave out technically. So it's funny what people do. I'm realizing for the Friends and Family parlay, as soon as we say it, they lock it in. So, and like, we talk about it for 2 seconds, and then I realize I have an epiphany. I should put UTSA in it like 2 minutes. And then people are already messaging, already locked it in. I cashed it in with the Red Sox. I'm like, hell yeah, you cashed it in. But now, like Jimmy, myself, and like whoever else, now all have UTSA today, and it's great. And everyone's now going to be watching UTSA with very much some interest in it. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I cannot wait for that.
Should be a good game.
Yeah, it should be, Moose. Should be indeed. Let's talk Rockies Reds here, and I cannot wait, Moose. You've just got me fired up a little more. German Marquez, Nick Lodolo here. Complete pass game for me. Both of these teams suck. I like Nick Lodolo a lot, but German Marquez has been pitching well on the road. Last time for him on the road against the Mets, of all people, 7 innings, 1 hit ball, 5 Ks, 2 walks. So pass game for me, keeping it short and simple there, Moosey. How are you looking at this game?
Hey, we're shutting down Moosey. Remember that.
Okay, right. Sorry.
I gotta keep there's got to be some kind of machismo.
Sorry, when I'm looking at Moose money and I just see Moosey, sometimes you just drop the money and the Y is still there.
Yeah. Hey, to be fair, I've come a long way from Moses Moody. So.
Oh, okay, you're right.
Yeah, because that's what it was originally.
You know what? You're
Moses
right.
Moody.
So, you're right. It does look like Moses Moody.
It has come a long ways, but I was really looking at the under, but the thing that kind of scared me away was just the fact that Marquez hasn't really looked great on the road his last few starts. just because he's been getting up so many base runners, so much traffic with the hits. And that's something I mentioned earlier. I do not like a pitcher that is almost a split, giving up a hit per inning. That's not something I really want to back. Is if it's a double and a single, boom, there's your run. And if you're giving up hits every inning, there's too much of a chance that you're going to be giving up multiple hits in an inning. And that kind of pushed me off the under, but I really was looking at an under here. The Colorado Rockies versus lefties on the road have been terrible. And I really have liked the Rockies versus lefties at home, but on the road, that has been a situation that I've been trying to get on the other side of it, because money has generally come in towards the overs when they see Rockies versus lefties, because the numbers show, oh, they got a 300 batting average, they got a 900 OPS, and the money will come in. But if you do those split stats, if you're using Fangraphs and you go to the left-handed pitcher away numbers, which I encourage everybody to do, like check the road splits for some teams, especially a team like Colorado, where it can be extremely severe. So one of the things I really wanted to look at, and one of the things I actually came in here going, I really hope Jose's pushing me on this, would be a under first 5, because Lodolo's been pitching much better. He's had some hiccups, but he's been pitching better, getting his feet wet, getting acclimated to the league. And Marquez on the road had been good, but recently has not been nearly as efficient as he was kind of in that stretch of May and June. So I really did lean heavy to an under here, but I have not played it right now.
Moose, you're so fucked, dude. They just picked all the fucking people on College Game Day just picked Houston. You're so fucked.
No, I mean, it's crazy because there's been money that has come in on UTSA and drove that line down. I was ready to play the 6 when it was up like a week ago, and I just kind of waited. I was like, I wonder if any kind of change is going to happen in this line, and they're going to give me a half point. And they didn't just give me a half point; they gave me 2 full points. So I was like, oh, that's kind of scary. And Babana actually shout out to the college Pub Hub, their group that they do, and they were talking about how the money coming in on UTSA is an alarm bell. I mean, it's been a significant amount of money, and a drop this recent in the week. That can kind of make it a little bit worrisome, but I still feel pretty good. I really like Clayton Tune. I think that offense is going to be humming, and I think they have the way better defense. You guys lost quite a bit on defense last year, and even towards the end of the year, that defense you guys were throwing out there was not looking nearly as good as it was earlier in the year. And I do have a suspicion that it's going to be a more higher scoring game, but I kind of think the higher scoring is going to be on one side of the ledger. But we'll see. I mean, hey, let's let the game get played. You know, there's no need to say, "Oh, you're gonna suck. You guys are gonna do." Like,
it sounds like that's what you're saying right now. It sounds like you just said verbatim, "You suck ass," and UTSA is gonna get crushed. That's what it sounds like to me.
No.
That's what it sounds like to me. No. Orioles Athletics, next game on our card here, Moose. And I want to give you a little trivia here. When is the last time the Baltimore Orioles were a minus 200 favorite?
Oh my goodness. It has to be like in the 2010s, like Machado days when he was there. It has to be.
It is in the 2010s, yes. 2018,
2017 when Machado was there.
May 6th, 2017.
Oh, let's go.
Against the Chicago White Sox. The pitchers that day, the one, the only, Dylan Bundy versus Dylan Covey of the Chicago White Sox.
Yeah, that's correct, Cab. That's kind of exactly what I just said.
2017. Yeah, and by the way, I'm wearing a Run CM3 shirt. That is Sincere McCormick. That was our running back last year.
Yeah. Where is he this year?
The Raiders, and then it hurt.
Oh, he's not. So he's not there. So like your best running backs.
No, but running backs don't matter. Running backs don't matter.
All right.
We learned the NFL running backs don't matter.
Yeah,
I ultimately had nothing on this game. I'm not going to bet on the fucking Orioles when they're the highest favorite they've been in the last 17 years. No fucking way.
I mean, I just feel obligated. A's on the road has been money, and that's kind of the one angle you throw out there. But it's absolutely, I'm not touching this. This is backwoods. I really would think that the A's on the road is just something you play it blindly if you're going to do it here. But no, I'm not playing it blindly. I put too much energy into the cap and looked at it. So no, I'm not touching it.
This is backwoods. That's good. That's good. That's how we should say it. Just some Dutch and Cab recoil in their skin. This is backwoods.
Yep.
All right, good. We've got this. I'm passing on this game as well. Nothing here. Nationals Mets. Oh, God. Minus 400. for the New York Metropolitans, Max Scherzer and everyone's favorite Patrick Corbin back on the bump. 4-17. Patrick Corbin. 4-17. That is difficult to do here.
Mm-hmm.
But watch as I make the case for for Washington Nationals first 5 in some form or fashion here. We all know the New York Mets are struggling against lefties. 26 in the league, 83 weighted runs created plus. Is that good, Moose? No.
No, it's not.
No, that's not good. That's not good. For his career, Mr. Patrick Corbin, 5-10, not good. A 4.64 ERA. We could work with that. This year, unfortunately, he has a 6.62 against them. 0-3, 17 innings pitched, and only a measly 13 runs in those 17 innings pitched. However, I don't know. I think he can maybe deal a little bit here, and if they can keep it close, first 5, maybe we can get in here. I'm going to look right now for a Nats first 5 +2, perhaps, if we can get there. Because obviously this plus 300 price is going to lead us to getting a decent price on the Nationals here. But what I'm saying here, as I always say, there's no fucking chance I'm taking the Mets at this price. So I would be on the Nationals in a form or fashion here, Moose. What about you? What do you think about this game?
It is kind of weird to say this, but I really kind of was looking at the under, which that is absolutely counter to everything that we have learned about Patrick Corbin.
Yep.
It's basically like waking up in the morning and calling to see the moon. Just completely reverse on what anybody would think, but he has actually been decent over his last few starts. 6 innings, 4 hits, 5 innings, 9 hits, but only 2 runs, 6 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs. The ERA in August is 6.85, but a lot of that did come early when he only went 2/3 of an inning and gave up 6 runs versus the Phillies. I really thought it was going to be an 8, though. I did not think when they're throwing a 7.5 out there, I think that's the market telling you, like, hey, we kind of expect Corbin to pitch well enough. And the Mets do struggle versus lefties, but how much am I willing to trust Corbin in an under? I really am not. I'm not to that point yet. It was another one of those, just like the Rockies and Reds. I really leaned heavy. The Washington Nationals bullpen has surprisingly been pitching outstanding. 188 average against, 11.08 K9, 2.65 ERA, a 3.37 FIP, a 3.36 xFIP. All things that point to a good performance. So if Corbin does struggle, you do have guys that can come in and pitch well or pitch well enough. I really am kind of leaning towards that full game under 7.5. Not playing it right now, but it's one of those things like I could be convinced with one sentence.
It's just the magical string of words to get you to make that bet.
Mm-hmm. It could be somebody saying, I'll take Nationals first 5. That would be enough to kind of push me. It's like, okay, I see. Let's do this.
I am not going to get there, unfortunately. It's Nationals. The first 5 +2 is -160. No fucking way. +1.5 is -115. And I kind of wanted plus money, to be honest. So I'm passing on this game. But it's Nationals for me. I bet on Patrick Corbin a little bit too much this year for my liking personally. So I pass here. I want to see Mad Max do his thing. I think he'll dominate against his former team too. So we'll see how that goes for them. Maybe my guess would be first 5 would be like 2-0 Nationals or 2-0 Mets, I should say. So it'll be interesting to see. Let's talk about Cardinals Cubs here. Drew Smyly, Adam Wainwright. I've got nothing on this game as well. I promise I do have some plays on this card. I've got 1, 2, and then 2 more that I'm thinking about here. But I didn't have anything on this game either. Wainwright, we know what his deal is. The Cardinals are smashing lefties, 4th, 149 weighted runs created plus, but can they hit Drew Smyly? It's the whole question every time with this Cardinals squad. The low total also indicates like maybe they're not going to hit him. So I'm passing here. Busch Stadium also freaks me out. Like I always think they should hit it, Busch, but it seems like when they have Busch, it always seems lower totals and shit. So I don't know what to do here with the Cardinals. I think they're a very confusing club at the end of the day. I've been betting team totals on them a lot, and it's been mixed results. And sometimes I've needed like a bases loaded hit by a pitch to walk off the game to give me a team total over 4, something like that. But it's a tough betting this Cardinals squad. So I'm passing here. What do you think here?
I will be taking the team total, and I did take the team total at 4.5. It's absolutely St. Louis versus lefties, and Smiley, he's pitched well, but he has not pitched as well on the road. Almost a full run higher, 3.48 compared to 2.86, and I know he's gotten some familiarity with the Cardinals. He just faced them 7 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, and that was pretty recent. And that's what really led me into, and I almost made this moose call, but I felt like it was there's enough trepidation here on making that play, but I did ultimately make it. But there was enough trepidation on how well Smiley can pitch, because I do like Smiley. I think he's got still has absolutely great stuff. When he was with the Rays, he was one of the most elite pitchers in baseball when everything was right. That curveball, breaking ball, it was just a thing of beauty. So it can be tough to just kind of expect the way that I would expect to have a bet that I make be a moose call, and I didn't get to that point. But I really do think that the Cardinals are going to have a decent game versus Smiley, seeing him within a 3-week span, familiarity, left-handed pitching. I mean, the Cardinals have a 240 ISO. That's ridiculous. That's basically like when they make contact, it's going out. And Busch Stadium, I get that absolutely does play to the under. It's pretty neutral today. There's no real major factors. I believe there's more negatives, but it's only like -6% on certain things. I mean, we can look up on Ballpark Pal the specifics today. I was looking at it last night. But I really do think that the Cardinals will hit pretty well. Also in play here, the Cubs bullpen, which has been really bad. 6 ERA, 6.36 FIP, and a 4.7 xFIP. That was enough to really push me onto that. I played it. I feel good about it. I don't feel great about it to make a moose call, but I really do feel good about the St. Louis Cardinals team total over.
Are we getting a moose call from you for the moose
I don't have
call?
one today. I'm really trying to be selective, because there were a couple of games I was like, oh, I'm going to make this my moose call. And I just kind of, because it was like, I made it too gimmicky. I really want to make sure that if I'm doing it, it is an absolute, like there's parameters to it. Like there's a list, there's a rules, there's a guidelines that I'm going to start following to make sure that if I'm doing it the way I have to do it every single time. And this didn't hit it. This didn't get to that point. It tickled the line. It got right up there. It's like just a little tickle, but it didn't get over. It didn't get past it. It's going to just be a play I really like.
Fair enough. But are you going to do the actual, like, are you going to moose call when you give it out?
Yeah. I mean, my moose call is just going to be ring, ring. Hi, this is Moose.
Oh,
that's my moose call.
Okay. Fair enough.
I'm not doing the one you do.
Fair enough. I'm just asking. I mean, maybe it spice up the moose call a little bit. I don't know. Those are my questions.
Again, there's too many feminine things I do. I can't have that noise come out of my body.
That's a good question. See, now I'm getting phone calls from Matty Ice. I'll take this phone call on air. Hello, Matthew. I'm on air. What's up?
Oh, I love that we can't hear him. That's great.
Oh, this guy. I'm sorry. I've lost my card. See, these are the weird things that happen on my show that I have to deal with. I've got Matthew, a.k.a. Matty Ice. Do you have any baseball plays today, Matt, you want to give out while we're here? App State money line, guys. App State money line is going to win today. There you go.
I'm on it.
Also on that. I'll deal with you after I'm the show. Thank you, Matt. There you go.
I agree, Damon. Yeah, we should have had some insight into that conversation. There should have been a little bit more transparency there.
Not speaker. I'm sorry. Yeah, he just asked me because I've lost my card. Shout out to me. I lose my fucking credit cards all the time. So how much you need to do re-up your ESPN Plus? I'm like, oh fuck. I guess I fucking have to fucking find out how much my ESPN Plus is and go fucking find another card to put it on.
To answer Bo Jackson, all of my ex-girlfriends did.
Ooh. Wow. That was unexpected from me. So that was a good one there. White Sox Twins here as I try to get back on track and get these phone calls off air. This is a wild and wet show already. It's a fun time. And thanks, everyone, for watching, as always. As college football is kicking off right now, so we appreciate you guys jumping over and catching some baseball while we are here. Dylan Cease, Tyler Mahle. Tyler Mahle coming off the IL shoulder injury. No rehab starts. Rehab starts. And that, I think I'm going to make that kind of like a blanket rule. If you don't take any rehab starts when you come back from injury, I'm going to fade you. Clayton Kershaw, I tried to do with him. First inning, he struggled. And if the fucking, I forgot who it was against already now. It was the Mets. It was against the Mets. If the Mets can get a bases loaded hit, that breaks open that inning, and I'm chilling for that first 5 team total over 1.5. It only ended 1-0, I believe it was 2-0 or something for that first 5. But I'll tell you guys this: I'm on the Chicago White Sox first 5 -0.5 here. I'm gonna double check the price. Dylan Cease, good enough pitcher for me to bet on the White Sox comfortably. No Tony La Russa makes me be even a little more confident on betting the White Sox. It's first 5 -0.5 at even money. I will be taking that official. They're 12th and 13th. Both of these squads are against righties, but I just making a blanket rule, take some fucking rehab starts or I'm going to fade you. So Tyler Mahle, ball's in your court. Let's see how it goes in game 2 of this, fading someone on no rehab starts. Moose, what do you think here?
It's an interesting situation. I would not be on the fade a guy if they're not using a rehab start, because one of the things, and this is just because I do have experience as a pitching coach, and I have been on teams and organizations where you have had guys that are coming back and you don't necessarily give them, whether it's live at bats or something like that. And we don't know necessarily if how much or what the process, what the structure was for Mahle returning. I would imagine that the reason they're not using a rehab, especially in a team that has a playoff aspirations, is because they've had him throw lives and they've had him throw bullpens, and this stuff looks good. And all of the responses from Tyler are basically, yeah, I feel great. The stuff looks good. It would be a question of stamina and endurance. I mean, shoulder injuries, arm injuries, those are really tough to evaluate how they're going to return in a game-like environment. It could be the second inning and all of a sudden something flares up because it's just the adrenaline is starting to kind of like pull back a little bit, and you just don't know how it's going to respond. So in that angle, I understand what's going on, but there is another side to that coin where it's what was going on in this recovery that leads them to say we are good to go. We do not need a rehab. And I would imagine that Mahle looks pretty good. I was looking at a first 5 under. I wanted a 4. I'm not going to play a first 5 under 3.5. The fact that the books are hanging at 3.5 leads me to think that they absolutely anticipate few runs being scored here. Dylan Cease is a dude, and I really thought that it was going to be a good spot to play a first 5 under, given that there was going to be over money coming off of the suggestion that you were making. And I thought White Sox money was going to push that total up. But it hasn't. It's still a 3.5, and I would really like to try to get a 4. It's not going to show up. I don't think it's going to show up. If it does, I'll play it, but I'm not going to be playing the 3.5. I really wanted to make sure I could cash and push if it did get to 4. So if it's a situation of a 3.5 versus a 4, I'm not going to play the 3.5. I would play the 4 just because if it would push. I don't think 5 runs are going to be scored in the first 5 innings.
Yep. It is a 4 or 3.5 for me right now. I try to feel that same wavelength as you. I do not trust Tyler Mahle, but there's no rehab start, so we're gonna see.
Yeah, I get it.
This is what one of the fun parts about my little gambling experience on this program. First time doing it publicly, all that good stuff is that I have a shitty memory, but I can remember when I lose bets. Mm-hmm. So I can remember examples like these trends. Like for example, we. On this show, and I'm a good illustration for stuff. Like I use myself as like a science experiment, hypothesis. Do parlays work? We run 2 weeks of parlays. My August record shoots down the tank. Parlays do not work, but we always have the friends and family. So that means if you bet your friends and family, it's always okay. But the say, hey, parlay did not work. Another example, fucking the career high innings limit people. We'll keep fading those people. It works pretty successfully, except if you're not Tony Gonsolin. Tony Gonsolin obviously beats those rules. Now, we've got another one here, hopefully. No rehab start. Clayton Kershaw defeated that theory, I guess you should say, last time with a shitty first inning, but cruised after. We'll see how Tyler Mahle does for sure. It's going to be fun. And by the way, Damon Santori, good comment and good quote here. Parlays work when you bet them, and the winners win.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Yeah, you usually are going to win games when you score more runs than the other team, too.
Facts are facts there. Seattle versus Cleveland, a pass game for me. We've got, I think it's Zavion. I think that's how it's pronounced. Zavion? I don't know. Curry, he's got a good pitcher. I like him. Has been struggling in the AAA right now. 3-2, struggling in the AAA. Struggling in the minors right now. 3 1/3, 2 hits, 3 earned runs last time. 4 walks, 1 strikeout. Not good. I like him. I want him to succeed. but I don't think he's going to pitch well here today. Robbie Ray has kind of been on one. Last 2 starts were good. 7 innings, 3 hits, no earned runs at Cleveland. Oh, versus the Cleveland Guardians. Look at that. Little rematch here. And then versus the Washington Nationals, 6 2/3, 1 earned run there, 7 Ks. Nothing for me here. Pass. I'll be interested to see if this game goes over, though, for sure, because maybe Seattle gets some offense, and anything they get off Robbie Ray will help out this over. I think I would like that if I had to play something on this game, but nothing here for me.
Yeah, same here. I would be a little bit more tempted to get on the Guardians here if Curry did pitch a little bit better in his first start. I'm never going to be on a rookie in their first start of a season or their career, because you don't know what's happening. You don't know what's going on in their mental mindset. You don't know how calm they are, how nervous they are. We've seen rookie pitchers go out there and throw no hitters in their first start. We've also seen rookie pitchers go out there and not even record an out in their first start, and everything in between. I would rather be on the Guardians team total under if I was going to be on anything, but it's low. It's not something I would be very comfortable with. So just pass for me. Really wish that I could have gotten a better number on that, but it was way too low, and it was also a little juiced.
Beautiful. All right, so let's keep it rolling here. As people trickle in, we appreciate it. As always, everyone watching, Damon Centauri, Rants, Cheshire Cat, Sharon, Pullman, Nasty Nate in here. Jake Burns, how long is Buxton going to be out? Good question. I have no idea. I wish I knew that myself, my man.
Yeah.
Edward Cabrera, and I was going to say Jake Odorizzi, but
nope.
Jake Odorizzi scratched. Yeah, Jake not in line or in the pitching bump here. We've got Bryce Elder. I'd still take the Braves, truthfully. I was kind of like, when I saw this, I was like, oh, good. Makes it a little easier to bet the Braves. Edward Cabrera has been on fire, but he finally saw a good enough roster, a good enough team, and probably the best team, the Dodgers, to crush him last time. And I think I was thinking in my head, this is just the NL East pitcher life. You know, you come off that Dodger start and then wake up, you face the Braves next time out, who are just as good. So I passed on this game. Braves are nothing for me here. I've got nothing on Elder. Because I capped this game as Jake Odorizzi. So that's very fun.
I think Elder actually pitches pretty well today. He just faced Marlins in his last start on the 14th. 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 run. The Marlins just aren't really hitting much at anybody versus right-handed pitching. Miami is 205 batting average, 114 ISO, minus 10.5 runs, weighted runs above average, and a 74 weighted runs created plus. I really thought it was about the under, but Cabrera's walk issues are just still a problem. He just walked in this month so far, or in the month of August, 3-2-2, 3-3, all in starts where he did not go beyond 5 innings, except for his 8-inning start versus the A's. That's just I don't want to be on a pitcher that is going to have walk issues and consistently have walk issues, and it is starting to come back to bite him, because his last start, 3 walks, 5 hits, 6 runs, 2 home runs. You can't walk guys and then give up a home run, and if that happens at all, you're talking about multiple runs. Really was looking for it under here. Not going to play it. Cabrera's walk issues are something to be concerned about. But I think moving forward, if you can find the right partner, the right lineup for him to go up against, absolutely he can be part of the unders, because he can get into trouble, and he can also effectively get out of it. I don't want that situation to present itself versus the Braves. Off.
Fair enough there. I like it, and I'm writing down my next play because I've already seen it, locked it in. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's in this next game. Milwaukee Brewers versus the Arizona Diamondbacks here. And I'm fading you, Corbin Burns. I'm challenging you to shut down these snakes, these hot snakes. 6th right now are the snakes against righties last 3 weeks. 107 weighted runs created plus. We'll take that. Corbin Burns struggled last time against my Pittsburgh Pirates. The time before that, he struggled against the Dodgers. It seems like he goes through these little spurts of struggling. And I'm going to fade him here. I'm not going to fucking worry about Madison Bumgarner, because I obviously do not trust him. Though they are 23rd against lefties, 88 weighted runs created plus. So if I'm picking a side, is obviously I'm going to take the Diamondbacks. But I'm not going to worry about that. I'm taking the Diamondbacks team total over 3. Only 3 runs. Minus 120. Little juicy there. But only 3 runs. And their Snakes offense has been hot. I've bet against Corbin Burns before, and he shut down my Pirates. I've seen it happen, but last time against them, he struggled, and I said I wasn't on them this time. I guess I have to make up for it and bet the Diamondbacks today. Diamondbacks team who's better and hitting better than the Pirates were. So I'm on it. Moose, what do you think?
Brewers, this game is important to them because Burns has to be the dude that steps up, and I actually expect him to have a really good game today. I was looking at an under, but Madison Bumgarner just pushed me right off of that. I was actually thinking about a Diamondback team total under. That's actually kind of the thing I was looking at because I really thought that Burns, this is going to be one of those starts where you really need to have your ace step up, secure a win, and start to change the direction that your team is going. Because if the Brewers aren't careful, they're going to find themselves out of the playoff push very quickly. And it unfortunately is starting to kind of look like that. Bumgarner, just in the month of August, 7 runs, 5 runs, 6 runs, 5 runs, 5 runs. In the month of July, before that, 5 runs, 2 runs, 5 runs, 2 runs, 3 runs. The starts, the series of starts that he was able to be profitable to an under are gone. I think that the Diamondbacks are allowing him to go out there and just kind of eat innings. They just need him to be able to get them through to the end of the year, allow some of their prospects to come up, get some looks, and not have to worry about putting prospects in situations where they really shouldn't be up. And that happens. And that does happen. There are plenty of players, there are plenty of pitchers that will get called up, and they should not be at the major league level and get just torched, and they're not able to kind of figure it out. Case in point, Ryan Weathers. He's come up, got absolutely torched at the major league level, and was trying to make all these adjustments. They sent him back down and continued to struggle. Recently has made some adjustments to get his velocity back, but those types of things happen. And I think the Diamondbacks are one of those teams that can be prone to that. Bumgarner is going to be important for them down the stretch to just eat innings. I think he understands that role. He's accepted that role, and you can see how he's pitched. 5 innings, 6 innings, and he's still giving up. They're leaving him out there to give up runs. I really wanted to play the under. Bumgarner pushed me off of it. I looked at the Diamondback team total under, but you did mention they have been hitting pretty well, and I really wanted a better number. I wanted something. I wanted a 3.5, a 4, but that was juiced too much. So I'll root on your Diamondback team total over, but I do think that Burns pitches well today.
Moose and I just going head to head all day today. Burns, Houston.
I'm not playing it.
No, Moose, you're just my enemy today. It's all right. You're right. I get it. I get it.
What about friends and family?
You weren't in friends and family, Moose, and you're going against UTSA. That makes you the enemy today. Houston Astros, Los Angeles Angels, a great pitching matchup. My favorite pitching matchup of the day. Shohei Ohtani, the MVP, versus Luis Garcia, one of my favorite pitchers. And I love Luis. He's hurt me kind of sometimes. I will admit. It's an abusive relationship at times, but I like the first 5 under 4 here, minus 115. I want to do a quick search because I did not write down Luis Garcia's home road splits. And you know what's funny?
He's better on the road.
Beautiful. There we go. That's exactly what I was thinking. He's a 3.26 on the road, and that will be enough for me to lock in officially the first 5 under 4 at minus 115 there. We know Shohei dominates the Astros. It's funny because last year struggled all against them, and this year completely flipped the script, dominated them. It's a whole lot of fun to watch Shohei pitch. And I'll keep saying that Shohei Ohtani is the MVP of baseball. I mean, I think it's crazy that Aaron Judge is the consensus. You know, you've got a pitcher that's pitching like, for example, Nestor Cortez. Nestor Cortez has been pitching well all year for the Yankees, and you've got someone that's hitting like Pete Alonso. So I'm sorry, in one player. I mean, that's clearly the MVP to me. 7 innings, 2 hits, no earned runs, 9 Ks for him against the Toronto Blue Jays at the Blue Jays. 2-1 with a 1.08 ERA with 3 games started against the Astros this year, like I mentioned. 33 Ks to only 4 walks. So shout out to my guy, Shohei Ohtani. I am taking the under in this game. Moose, what are you?
Man, I'm right there with you, dude. I'm right there. First 5 under. That's the play I got. The Angels bullpen is going to regress. At least I fully expect them to regress, or I would have taken the full game under 8 as well. The Angels bullpen has a 4.14 ERA over the last 3.5 weeks or so, but their FIP 5.22, xFIP 5.06. Expected regression there, so I'm not even going to try the full game. I do feel like Ohtani, he does go deeper into games, and you can eliminate a lot of that worry, but if I can just get the first 5 at 4, I'm going to play that. I really do fully expect Ohtani to have a good game. And it's also expect Luis Garcia to pitch well. He has pitched better on the road, and the Angels versus right-handed pitching has not been stellar. If I pull up their numbers here real quick, got it.
I'll tell you,
231. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say 20th, 88 weighted runs created plus in the last 3 weeks there.
Yep, and I'm looking at the same thing. The one thing they have done is they have hit for a little bit of power, 168 ISO, but the 672 OPS, 399 slug, that does tell me that they have been hitting home runs. That is one thing that that Garcia has given up. He has given up some home runs, but a lot of those home runs have come at home, where if you follow the Twitter handle Will It Dong, there are more home. The Astros Stadium is one of it's the second most likely park to have home runs down the line compared to all the other stadiums. Only Yankee Stadium and Fenway, I believe, have more, but Angels Stadium should have a very high heat index. The ball would be more prone to fly, and that was something that worried me. So again, it was another play that I really was thinking about doing a moose call on, but the weather, the heat index, and the fact that Luis Garcia has given up home runs this year, it does worry me. It does concern me, but I still feel pretty confident in the first 5 under 4.
I'll say wind blowing straight out, too. 7-mile-an-hour winds, blowing out. It dies down as the game goes on, so that's a concern.
It's also like 150 degrees here too.
Well, that's pretty standard in Texas too. Damon said, Damon, I'll argue with you all night long about this. If you switch Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge, Yankees fans would be saying Ohtani's the MVP, no fucking doubt, no fucking clue. But that's all I'm saying here.
Yeah, I do somewhat. I definitely kind of have the same type of mentality that Damon has with the Ohtani discussion. But Judge has opened the door. I will say that. He's absolutely opened the door. The fact that the Yankees are really struggling down the stretch. But the most valuable player to me has always been an award that should go to the player that was the most value in terms of producing their team to success. And if your team is not doing well, and I understand the MVP is not supposed to be like a team award, but there has to be that element to it of this guy brought them into a winning situation. And if you're not able to do that on your team, then it's just, hey, you're able to play well and you play at a high level. I think that needs to be incorporated a little bit more. If we're just going off of pure, he's the best player in baseball, I think Ohtani, absolutely. I would agree with you there. But that element of the team success has to be involved here, because your individual success is going to lead to team success. Baseball is a team sport. It has to be incorporated into the discussion. That's why I feel like Judge is going to kind of have that, unless Yordan Alvarez has just an absolute monster finish. But there really isn't a lot of competition. Ohtani is the competition to it. If the Angels start playing better down the stretch, maybe you can make the case like, look what was going on the stretch. But I do think that it's going to be somebody other than Ohtani, because he just has not been able to produce the wins and the results that an MVP should be producing, such as Aaron Judge, Pete Alonso. I mean, hell, I'll even throw Manny Machado in there when he's been going as hot as he's been, because he's been able to take over. But that's part of the MVP discussion that I believe should be in part of it almost every single time in every single sport.
Thank you, Miss. I disagree.
I understood. Yeah, I get you.
Mike Trout wins the MVP every year, and he's on the shittiest team ever. San Diego Padres, Los Angeles Dodgers, Julio Urias, Sean Manaea. I've got nothing here, Moose. I'm at the point now where the beers are in the back of my neck already. I can feel them on the back of my neck. And I've got nothing on this game. Truthfully, I think the Dodgers should beat the shit out of the Padres tonight after what they did yesterday. I actually wrote Dodgers run line, Dodgers team total ? Here. So I'll do a quick look, and I trust 2 a.m. Jose brain more than I trust wanting to go get beers. Jose minus 110 for the run line right now. That's pretty crazy. That feels like a trap to me. I don't know. Minus 110 for the run line on a minus 215. Is that real life right now? I don't know. I pass on this game, but if I had to play a side, it's definitely the Dodgers run line there for sure. Minus 110 feels like a joke.
Yeah, I was very tempted in the over in general, but I'm not going to play it. Urias has one of those. He's got one of those big moment brains. Like he just seems to kind of understand like when something huge is happening. I mean, that's why the Dodgers used him to close out that World Series. Or is this even fair? I really don't want to do it because I do respect the World Series, but when the Dodgers won their World Series, I'm sorry.
No.
I apologize. I apologize to all the Dodger fans. I don't really truly believe it, but it's too easy to do that every single time.
Well, I did the same thing with the Lakers fans. I mean, so.
All right, fair enough. But
let's not forget that Lakers also count a bunch of titles from Minnesota too. Let's not forget that as well.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, that is true because there's not many lakes in Los Angeles. So I get the incorporation there. They got to stay true to their franchise's roots. But in terms of this game, Manaea has just been horrible. He looks so bad. He's one of those guys right now where he doesn't have the pinpoint control, and he's a pitcher that absolutely has to have pinpoint control. He is missing way too far out of the zone. He's not pitching in the gray zone. He's pitching outside of it. And when he throws into the strike zone, it is almost way too over the middle of the plate. I know Damon, he's watching Padre games alongside with me. And shout out Damon Santori, who might actually be trying to get to a Padre game here when the Cardinals are in town.
He said $13 Cardinals tickets earlier in the chat.
Yeah, because one of the things I like to do is I like to go to the games, just kind of hang out in that lower concourse, just like standing room and just watch. And you have like essentially $50, $60, $70 seats, and you're just right behind home plate. You got a really good angle. But Manaea has been just a terrible pitcher. It really does look like he is more of a thrower than a pitcher. And what I mean by that is he's just getting the ball. There's not a lot of mechanical consistency. He's not throwing this ball to the spots he's supposed to. When you want to miss to the location you're pitching to. And he is not missing to location. He will miss way too far off location. And that is the sign indicator that he does not have a very good feel for his release point. And if a pitcher doesn't have a good feel for their release point, they are going to be a fade every single time. I was wanting to get a first five, good number on the Dodgers, and I am trying to pay for the Padres to get into the playoffs. That is one thing that I am willing to do, is I will absolutely put money on I will fade them. First five has been profitable. Full game hasn't been as profitable. Haven't taken too many run lines, lost money lines. If I could get a better Dodger team total, I would be on it. But I am very intrigued by the over 8.5. The Padres bullpen is not going to be as consistent as it has been. They are getting some help back. Pierce Johnson should be coming back. But there's so many guys in that bullpen that just can absolutely lose it in a moment's notice. So the 8.5 is very intriguing to me. The Dodgers team total is a little bit more intriguing to me, but I don't believe we're going to be able to get that at a fair price.
Yeah, that's why I like or run line, I should say, minus 110. But that feels weird. It just feels like a weird price giving us that. But yeah, run line for me there. Moose, thank you so much for joining us. Joining me, I should say. Something I learned about Moose today is that he's very long-winded. Moose very long.
You didn't know that already?
I did not know that, no.
I know how to talk.
Yeah, Moose loves to talk. He's got that Ian Cameron gene. I love it. I realized that as I was thinking about, 2 minutes into his MVP rant, I was thinking, man, those I have to walk to the Alamo Dome here soon. Got to do my pregame festivities. I was like, oh man. And then I come back like 3 minutes later. Oh, he's still talking about. Okay. So shout out to you, Moose. I'm only busting your balls. I love you, Moose. I appreciate your insights as always. And you're going to be the last Saturday guest in Say Hey Play History for this month. Or for this year, I should say. So shout out to you, my guy. I appreciate it. And by the way, this was a good pre-birthday gift. So I appreciate you for joining me and doing the good fight there. Moose, let's recap our official plays here. But first, I'd like to play our little video telling everyone about our Cappers contest. So we'll be back in about a minute.
We at Pop Sports Radio are doing our own Cappers contest. $100 entry fee. We will all be competing against each other. Every single cent that's put in will go into the prizes.
You've got 5 picks every week. If you go to pubsportsradio.com, you buy yourself that little ticket that you see on the website right there. Just hit add a cart. You buy the little ticket right there. And after you buy the ticket, you'll get an email with a link and a specific password for you to log in, make your picks, and all that good jam.
So it coincides, of course, with a survivor pool. One pick per week sports survivor pool. That's exciting. We're having a cappers contest, 5 picks against the spread each week, and a survivor contest. We all get to host the victors and roast the losers. The cappers contest at Pub Sports Radio. All you have to do is go to pubsportsradio.com to sign up.
Beautiful. Shout out to the cappers contest there. It's a good time. Sign up right now on pubsportsradio.com. You'll see the link, the little orange bar at the top. 5 picks a week, $100 to enter for the full season. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. Everyone joining as well. Moose, I can't wait to see you in there as well, along with our survivor pool. 1 pick a week, money line. Play your team wins, you move on. You keep going. You can't use that team twice. It's going to be a great time. $100 for that as well. Everyone going to be joining that. It's going to be great. Support the pub and join the Cappers contest today. And shout out to our presenting sponsor as well, Buy Me a Coffee. Link in the description for the Buy Me a Coffee link where you can buy us a beer, buy us a coffee, whatever you want. And it'll go to the funds for the Atlantic City trip that we are hosting soon. Soon. Going to be a whole lot of fun. Ron Walsack. Going to be a whole lot of fun. Birthday's tomorrow, Ron, but I appreciate the early birthday.
Oh, nice. Happy birthday. Happy preemptive birthday.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Moose, I'll let you go first, recapping our plays for September 3rd.
All right. I am on the over in the Royals at Tigers at 8.5. I did get that last night at plus money, so that was I do like that bet. I'm also on the Cardinals team total over 4.5. Also got that at plus money. And I am on the first 5 Astros and Angels under 4, and I got that at minus 115.
Beautiful. And yes, by the way, I'm realizing now that the last weekend show of Say Hey Plays is going to be on my birthday. That's funny. My 4 plays for today here, and shockingly juiced for me. My average line 1 plus 111 for the year. So these are shockingly juiced lines for me. Tampa Bay money line minus 130. Chicago White Sox minus a half, even money. Houston Angels first 5 under 4 at minus 115. And I've got the Arizona Diamondbacks team total over 3 at minus 120 for me. Wow, I cannot wait. Moose, real quick before we head out of here, please let us know, are you on any plays, anything specific you want to share to the people for college football? And when you're done with that, let us know where we can find you at.
Sure, I will go through. I still have a few games I need to go through. I'm absolutely fucking crushing it in week 1. I am right now. Actually, I'm crushing it in just college right now. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I am 9-4 right now in college football. And this week, I've only got 1 loss going into today's games. So I've got Appalachian State. I did take them at plus 1.5. I'm also on East Carolina at plus 12. I'm on a team that's playing against UTSA. I'm also on Florida money line, and I'm taking the 2.5 points for Florida. I'm on Liberty as well, and I'm on Liberty first half, and I'm on Notre Dame first half against Ohio State. And those are the plays I have right now. I still have some games I'm going to go through here. I might take a little bit of a nap. I might actually, I'm thinking about trying to maybe read you a little bit of Harry Potter here, because I know you love hearing my voice. And
I'm listening to you, and I'm absolutely listening to you, Moose. I'm actively listening to you right now.
Yeah, maybe I've been around Cab too much. I can feel like, all right, I'm just going to continue to talk until I'm told to stop. It definitely has this feeling of talking to my students. I'm not going to lie, my students, my players.
Is it because of how young I am?
No, it's just the eyes that drift off into, dude. I'm going to wait until he stops talking. As soon as he stops talking, I'll nod yes, and we can go on with our day.
Well, I guess that's just a youth thing, huh? I'm just marking out my tweet right now so I could thank you as always as well. Moose, I'm multitasking. This is what we do here. The Utes, we multitask. We do a lot of things all at once. It's going to be a whole lot of fun, and I cannot wait for today. Moose, I hope you win all your bets except for your Houston one. I hope that one loses in spectacular fashion. My final score prediction for that game, I'm not good at football math right now, so I'm going to say 48-34 UTSA. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. A statement made, and then they lose next week to Army because Army is just going to beat the fuck out of them. But Moose, I appreciate you for joining me. And you didn't say where the people can find you on Twitter, by the way.
You guys can find me on Twitter at Moose Money Bets. It's this handle right down here. You guys can also find me on the live stream tonight. The Notre Dame Ohio State with Daddy Cab. Yeah, and we got Jacksonville Zoe coming in. We've had a really good crew come in.
Zoe.
Yeah, we had a really good crew come in last night. Jose was a part of that. Even had an uninvited guest, the Crow, that was outside my window. So
no Crow right now either. Wow, right? I just realized that too.
Yeah, we had a little talk. I had to give him a little what's what, and I think he felt like you did, and just like, you know what, this guy's not going to stop talking, and he just took off.
Well, fair enough. As I try to pull off the plastic on my sunglasses here, Moose, when these sunglasses come on, I become a different person.
Hey, dude, I'm not gonna lie though, you can rock those. Like that forms your face pretty well.
Thank you. I've got a round face. I appreciate that. These glasses come on, I become a different person. The UTSA fan comes out of me, and we're going to go nuts here. I'm going to take some vitamins, walk over to the Alamo Dome, probably chug a beer or two, walk into the Alamo Dome again, and just have a great old time.
All right, well, I had 9 last night, so that's your record. You got to beat that. I
am not going to do that. I had 10 over my guys' weekend, so that is absolutely not going to happen because I am a little boy. Thank you guys for watching so much. You guys have been great. Even though with the college football, I appreciate you guys coming in, jumping in, saying hello. Those who are watching on the replay, thanks for watching. I hope you guys get to enjoy the first 9 minutes of the lost part of Say Hey Plays as well when no one's in here as well. That was a whole lot of fun as well, and a good mistake by me to make there. Say hey, everyone. We'll see you guys next time for a birthday edition of Say Hey Plays. My birthday edition of Say Hey Plays with the big Ragu. And I hope he's going to carry that whole show because I am going to be destroyed today. Say hey, everyone, and we'll see you guys next time.